Hello everyone. Good evening. Today is our third session, right? Still two more sessions are there. Pre-demo sessions. After that, only paid students will get the link from the sixth day. Okay. In order to do payment and all, you just please contact with the Logic Labs team. They'll help you out regarding that. Okay. Let's wait for 2 more minutes. Then we'll start. Okay. If you want to communicate anything with me, then do please write your query in the chat. I'll get back to you. Okay. Open the chat board. If you are having any query, any doubt, do please let me know in the chat. Okay. Let's wait for 2 more minutes so that everyone will get joined. Okay. Okay, let us start now today's session. I'll start sharing my screen. Do please let me know whether you are able to see my screen or not. If you are able to see my screen, just ping me in the chat so that I can able to know that you are seeing my screen. Okay. Please reply me back in the chat. Yes. Thank you, Guna Singh, for responding me back. Let us start today's session. Yesterday we have discussed about why Java and then differences between those, and we are discussing about the Java programming format. And yesterday we have discussed in the Java programming format 3 sections. Those are documentation section, package statement, and import statement. These 3 sections we are already covered in the yesterday session, right? Now we are going to discuss about the interface section. Interface section, those who joined newly in this class, they can have the link, video link, like they'll have the recordings. You can go through that if you are not clear now which session we are going to discuss, okay? Because those who are not clear about this, do please go to the recordings, okay? After this session, you can have clear idea. Fine. Now, the interface section. Interface section means what? I already told you one thing, right? Like in order to overcome the problem of multiple inheritance, there is a concept has been invented in Java that is called interface. Okay. In order to overcome the problem of multiple inheritance, they introduced a new topic or new feature called interface in Java. Okay. Normally, this is an optional section. It is not like mandatory to have an interface in every Java program. It is based on the requirement, you can have that interface. If it is not required, then no need to declare any interface. Okay. Only if it is required, we will create that after the import statement. If it is required only, we'll create after the import statement. And in order to create that interface, we have to use one keyword called interface. Interface keyword we are using to create an interface. It is just like class only. As we are having classes in Java, right? The same way interface will also looks like class. But the here keyword we are using instead of class, we are using here interface as the keyword. And it will have only constants and method declaration. Normal classes will have normal variables and method implementation and everything. But interface is having only constants and method declaration. And the another difference between this interface and class is interface cannot be instantiated. Yes, someone raised the hand. Yes, just ping me in the chat. What's your query? Solomon, something, his name. You are about to ask something? Just ping me in the chat. Any query, Solomon? Or shall I continue that? Okay, if you are having any query, just ping me in the chat. Okay. So the another difference between the class and interface is interface cannot be instantiated. We cannot create an instance for the interface. Definitely the class who is implementing that interface is we can create an instance or object to that class. First, we'll get to know what is meant by an interface, how it has overcome the problem of multiple inheritance. Okay. First, multiple inheritance means what means? For example, take here. Not, I'll open a one word pad. No, Solomon. No, after this session. Our first 5 sessions will be the free sessions. Today is the 3rd session. Okay. Like till Friday, it is free sessions only. After that, I mean, like from the Monday, you have to pay the session. Only the paid students will get the link. The students who have not paid, they won't get the link from the Monday. Okay. Not for this session. First 5 sessions will be the free sessions. Okay. Now, oh, okay, good. We'll start with this multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. It is nothing but we are having here two classes, class A and class B. Okay, let us think here. This is the class A and this is the class B. Now there is one more class called C. Okay. Now this C is inheriting from class A and from class B. Okay. This C is inheriting from class A and class B. For example, we are having one method called here show. Show is a method which is available in this class. Okay. Now, here also we are having one more method called show. Okay. Now, oh, okay, sorry. I think I didn't share this. Now, are you able to see my this? Yes, thank you. See, Now A is having one method show, B is also having one method called show. Now C is inheriting from A and B. Now, if it is trying to call that method, okay, if it is trying to call that method, then we'll having some ambiguity, like which class method I should get called. Whenever if it is creating an instance, when we create an object for this, I'm not saying that we are creating object for this class or this class. If it is specific with this class, it will call this. If it is specific with this class object, we can call this show method. But I am creating an object for this class and I'm trying to access that, then we will having some ambiguity. Whenever a child class is inheriting from two parent classes, then we will be having some ambiguity. To overcome that ambiguity only, interface concept has been introduced. Okay, not to overcome the ambiguity, a concept called interface has been introduced. Okay. Means like a single class will have the multiple super classes. It is not at all supported in Java. See, this is one single class having the two super classes. It is not at all supported in Java. So to overcome this, we are having here new concept called interface. Okay. Interface. Interface is nothing but will having only the constants and method declaration. Means like we can show here. See how we are going to declare any interface means with the interface keyword, and here this is an interface name. Okay. Now open a curly braces and the close curly braces to start and end that interface, and we are having only the method declaration. One second. Okay, method declaration means what I told you, we are having only the constants and method declaration. Constants means what, like we can have some here private, static. Normally we have to use the keyword called static to declare any private variable. Static int s is equal to 10. Means this s value will be 10 ever because we cannot change that. It is a constant value. Okay. Static keyword means why we are using to make any variable or method static, not sorry, static and final. Sorry, final keyword we'll use to create any variable or method as a constant. We cannot change the value of that. Okay, so interface will have the constants and method declaration. Method declaration means what? Means just the return type and the method name and the open and curly braces and the semicolon. Means normally method means we'll have like this, right? System dot out dot println like welcome. Okay. Normally method means we should write like this. Return type, method name, open and curly braces, and open curly braces, the close in between the statements what we want to do any functionality. Okay. But this type of method implementation will not be happen in the interfaces. Okay. Only the method declaration will be there. Whoever is implementing this interface, right? For example, I am implementing that interface. How we have to implement that? Definitely an interface should be implemented by some other class. If no one is implementing that interface, there is no use of that interface. Definitely some other class should implement this interface. They have to implement these methods. Without that, we cannot use these methods and variables in other classes. Okay. Implements car. Okay. Now, I am just writing here void start void v should be small. Okay. Now system dot out dot println engine started. Engine started. Okay. Like I am implementing this based on my requirement. Okay. So the class, whoever is implementing this interface has to implement the methods also. Okay. Now I can create here public static void main. Just I'm writing simple. Okay. So it is in the other format. For example, I am creating here an object. Now, if I use this e dot start, e should be small because here the object name is, I have created e is small letter. So e dot start, then it will call this method and it will print this engine started message. So directly we cannot call this start method of this interface. So the class must and should implement this interface, and with the object of this class we can able to call the methods of that. Okay. This is about the interfaces, and this is how we have to declare the interface before the class section. Okay. And we have to create an object for the class, whoever is implementing that class interface. So see here, we can use interface in classes by using the implements keyword. Okay. If it is also an interface, we can have two scenarios here. If this is also an interface, then I had to use here extends keyword. Okay. And we cannot write the implementation here. Okay. And we cannot write the implementation for this here. Just we can declare Skoda started, Skoda car started, something like this. I can declare one more. I can declare one more method declaration in this interface. So if I want to use this class declaration also into this, means I can extend that. Means like what means? For suppose I'm having one more class here, class BMW implements example, because that is also an interface. Now, example e dot start can works, because example e dot start, though it is not there in this example interface, but this example interface is extending that car interface also. So then what background it will do, these two methods will also be included in this interface along with the Skoda car started. Okay, so now this example interface will have these three methods. So we can use these three methods if you create an object to the class who is implementing this interface. Okay. This is completely about the interface and extends and implements keyword. Whenever though the interface means we'll use the extends keyword. Class and interface means we have to use the implements keyword. Remember this point, which is very, very important, because while we're writing any code in Java, definitely we have to use these keywords. Then you need to be more familiar about this. If it is interface, what keyword I have to use? If it is class, what keyword I have to use? Okay. Now, the next will be the class definition. Class definition means what? Just after the interface section, we will having the class definition section. Okay. And that too, this plays a vital part in the Java program. Why I'm saying this is a vital part? Because the class is the main part in Java program. Without the Java class, we cannot create any Java program, because in class only we'll write the main method. Without the main method, there is no execution of any Java program. And in the main method, we are creating an object for that class. So there is a interdependency between all these things. Class, main method, and object creation for the class, everything is. Okay. So that is the reason why it is a vital part of a Java program. Without this, we cannot create any Java program. And a Java program may contain, one second, something. A Java program may contain more than one class definition. It is not like only one class should be there in a single Java program. We can have multiple classes in a Java program. Okay. And the keyword what we have to use to define the class is class keyword. To define any class, we have to use the class keyword. And this is a blueprint of the Java program. Blueprint means what? Definitely you will have to know, you may know this, because while we construct any new house, right, we'll have the blueprint from the engineers. Means like what? It will just give you an overview, like how our house will look. Like what's the spacious for the living room and the bedroom and the kitchen room, like that. They'll give the dimensions and everything will be included, and we'll get one overview of our house. The same way here, class is a blueprint of a Java program. Means it will use an complete overview about that program. Okay, because all the main things will be included into this only. Okay, and it contains the information about the user defined methods, variables, and constants, because we can create a methods, variables, and constants in the class. Okay, and every Java program must have at least one main method in one class. Means I am telling that we'll have multiple classes in a Java program, right? So at least in one class, we should have one main method. If there is no main method in any class, means it's not making any sense. So the Java program will not work. Okay, at least one class should have the one main method. Okay, this is about the class definition. And an example for this is just like this. We will create the class and the class name. This student here is the class name. And the open curly braces and the closed curly braces means this is completely about the class definition. Okay, this is what we call class definition. Next, class variables and constants means what? First, now we are going one by one step. Documentation section, package statement, import statement, interface section, class definition. Means after that, what in class, what we will write? We will write variables and constants. Okay, in the class, we will define the variables and constants. In Java program, the variables and constants we will define just after the class definition. Means just after writing this class name, open parenthesis, then immediately we'll start writing the variables and constants. Okay. So these variables and constants we are using to store values of the parameters. Why we are using? We are using this to store the values of the parameters. Means like, for example, say here an example I am writing, class student. Student will have what type of information? You can have, may know that in our registry in our schools, what they will write? They'll write our ID. Means we'll have some individual ID, right? Like admission number or anything like that. Okay. And our name. And I'm taking an example of the percentage of our marks. Okay. Means what the percentage total I have secured. Okay. And then marks I'm taking here. So these are all type we can say as the variables. But here, see, I am writing here static final. I already told you, right, before only, like if we use the keyword called static and final, then that variable will become constant. This, this part we call it as variable. But when we declare it with the static final keyword, this will become constant. If we use these two keywords, definitely we have to assign some value equal to something like this, because this is the int, means integer type, we are giving here numerical number. If it is the string type, then we have to give some alphabetical value here. Okay, means whenever we are using this marks variable in the total program, then definitely the value will be replaced by the 55. We cannot change the value for the marks in the program because we have declared it as a constant. Okay. This is what about the constants. Variables means just we are declaring that with the data type and the data type name, variable name. Data type here and the variable name. This is the string data type and the variable name of this is sname, means we can give here the string type value in this sname, means I can give sname is equal to Syed Kausar Jahan, because this is accepting the string value. So I can give here string value in this. Int ID. Here ID is of type integer. So I can give here numerical value like ID is equal to some 25 or 35 like that. Double percentage. Double is a variable data type and percentage is a variable name. Double will accept decimal value. Percentage means we'll get 81.5. 89.5 like that. So the percentage is equal to 89.5. If I give means it is acceptable because double is of type accepting the decimal value. So we can also decide the scope of the variable by using the modifiers. Means like whoever, if you declare this without using any access specifier, then the life will be that complete class. If we declare here some private or public or anything, then we can decide the scope of that variable. If it is acceptable in the particular class or particular method or outside of the package also, everything will be decided based on the access modifiers. Normally in Java, we'll be having the 4 access modifiers. What are those means? Default, public, private, protected. Default means it is having the scope to the complete Java program in which we are creating that variable. Public means we can access that outside of the current package and we can access in any packages. Okay. Private means only up to that class or that method only. If you declare that access modifier. And protected means only the subclasses of that parent class. Okay. This is about the access modifiers. Now, main method. Main method means what? I told you, right? The main method is the essential part of the Java program because the execution will start from the main method. The execution will start from the main method because execution of all Java programs will start from the main method only. We can also say this is an entry point of the class. How any compiler will start its execution means how it will take the entry point to the classes with the help of this main method only. And definitely that main method should be inside any one class. Okay, we cannot create the main method outside of the class. Okay, and inside the main method, we create objects and calls the methods. Inside the main method, what we will do, I told you, right? We can create the objects. Based on that object, we can able to call the methods of that class. Okay, see here an example. See, this is the syntax, like public is the access modifier, static is a keyword, and why we are using here static also? There is one reason for this. Okay. Because if you declare any method or variable with the static, then without creating an object to that method or variable, means without creating an object to that class where this method is present, we can able to call these methods. Because before compiler starts its execution, first it will check whether any static variables and methods are exist or not. If it is exist, without any help of the object, it will first execute the static methods. So main method is exist in class. So without creating that class, I told you, right, main method, the entry will be the main method. Execution starts from the main. No one is calling explicitly that main method. Like for example E is equal to new example, E dot main. No one is calling like the main method. So automatically it will start its execution. How means? With the help of this static keyword. Just a second. Sorry for the disturbance. So this is the why we are using here static. No need to call explicitly for the main method, and it is automatically calling because of this static keyword. Okay, and void is the return type, means the main method will not return anything. And this is the string args. Why we are using this array type arguments means to accept the command line arguments. In order to accept the command line arguments, we are passing here string args array. Okay, this is the syntax. Now, an example here is public class student, and now public static void main, and the main method. And now the executable statements, what we have to write, we can write here. Okay, like creating an object and calling the methods, everything. This is about the main method. Now again inside, see here we have discussed about the classes, main method. Now we are going in depth about these methods. Now we are calling the methods, right? What are the methods and how they are behaving means we'll discuss now. We'll define the methods to know the functionality of the program. The actual functionality of the program will be depends on these methods only. What is these methods means? Methods are a set of instructions that we want to perform. The set of instructions that we want to perform will be known as methods. Okay, and these instructions will run at the runtime. These instructions will execute at the runtime and it will perform that specific task. Okay, so now an example. Public class demo. Now public static void main and display method. Okay. So void display, and what I am writing here, the functionality system.out.println welcome to Logic Labs. See what's the functionality of this display method? We can just able to, if you know, have seen, like display means what you will get in our mind. Display means it is something it is showing to the user, or it is something displaying on the monitor or to the user. So the methods will represent the functionality of the program. The functionality of the display method is, it is just printing something to the user like welcome to Logic Labs. Okay. This is about the methods and behavior. Okay. Now, till now we have completed all the Java programming format like documentation section, package statement, import statement, interface section, class definition. Inside that class definition, we will be having the variables and constants, and then main method. In the main method, we'll be having the object creation and methods. Now we have discussed about the already methods and behaviors. Now, what type of statements we can able to write in the, I told you, right, methods will have the set of instructions. What type of instructions we can perform in a methods means. Now we'll discuss about the statements. Java statements. Java statements will also be included in this methods. Okay. Statements means nothing but just it is equivalent to the natural language will having the statements, right? Like sentence, right? In English, we'll say like this is a ball, that is a cap, like that. The same way means it is showing some sense to the user, like it's having some meaning. The sentence, what we are saying in our natural English language, right? The same way, the statements are nothing but a sentence which is having a valid sense. Okay, the programmer will and the compiler will understand that sentence with the help of this Java statement only. Okay. Now, in Java, a statement is an executable instructions. Statement is an executable instruction. Means we can write a simple just this is the cursor in Java program. If you write this, will it make sense? Will the Java compiler will take that? No. So it should have some sense. Means statement should have in an executable manner. So a statement which is in a executable instruction, we call it as Java statement. Okay. Java statement is an executable instructions that tells the compiler what to perform. It will tell to the compiler like what that compiler has to do, like whether he has to add something, subtract something, whether he has to print something, everything will be in the executable manner. Okay, and it forms a complete command to be executed and can include one or more expressions. What does this statement will have? It will have one complete command. Complete command means what? Like robotic, if you give any command to the robot, it will do all the task completely because we are giving a command. Yeah, you have to do this like this. We have programmed like that to the robot. So the same way here, we are giving the complete command to be executed. And in this command, we can have one or more expressions. Expressions means like one or more functionality he can do in a single complete command also. Okay, this is about this Java statements, a brief introduction. Now we'll discuss about the types of these Java statements. Okay, how many types of statements are there? There are 3 types of Java statements available in Java. What are those? Expression statements, declaration statements, and control statements. How many types of are there? 3 types. Those are expression statements, declaration statement, and control statement. Now we'll discuss each and everything. Okay. Till now you have understood what I'm saying? If I'm saying continuously, you will feel bored. So let us get some response from you guys. Could you please respond me in chat whether you are able to understand what I'm saying? Please revert me back in the chat. Yes, good. Thank you. Others, is everything clear? If not, I'll try to explain in another way if you are not clear. It's everything understandable? Okay, no one is responding, only one guy has responded. Okay. Now, the first statement will be the expression statement. Expression statement is what means? Expression is an essential building block of any Java program. Means what? It is like a main block of the Java program. And see, there is one concept here. One is dependent on another thing, one is dependent on another thing. Like we'll have everything is dependent in the Java program. Like the statements I'm saying. Like import, class. From class, it is definitely everything is dependent. Class should have the main method should have the object creation and method calls. Methods will have the some statements. So like this, it is an essential building block and generally it is used to generate a new value. Sometimes you can also assign a value to the variable. In order to generate a new value or if you want to assign a value to the variable, we are using this expression statement. Okay. Now in Java, expression is a combination of values variables, operators, and method calls. What's the combination? It's a combination of values, variables, operators, and method calls. Okay, and it is again classified into the three types. This expression statements is again classified into the three types. Means what? In three ways we are able to using this expression statements. One is the expression statements which is producing some value. Okay, and another is it is some assigning some value. Okay, and the third one is neither producing any result nor assigning any value. So these three types we are classified this expression statement. Producing a value means how? For example, see here, the expression which is enclosed in this parenthesis will be evaluated first, because the priority will be high for which the statement, the numerals which are having inside this parenthesis will have the high priority. Okay, the statements what and all available in the parenthesis will evaluate first, after that the remaining statement. Okay, and that too the multiplication and division will having the high priority. So first this will get executed. So this means what does this expression statement is? This statement is 6 plus 9 is giving some value. It is producing some value. And 9 mod 2 pi into radius plus 2. This is producing some value. So this is one type of expression statement. And the another one is which is assigning a value. Means like we have taken one variable like int number is equal to 90. Int number is equal to 90. Means we are assigning some value to the variables. That is called one type of expression statement. And one more type is that is neither producing nor assigning a value. Okay, that comes under like this here. Here, count plus plus, I am taking one variable. Count plus plus means what? Count is equal to count plus 1. Int sum is equal to a plus b. Okay. Now, when we add any two numbers, the result will be updated here. The value of this a and b will not change. But by adding these two, initially sum will be 0. But after adding these values, that value will get assigned to this sum. So the value of this sum is changing. But a and b are not changing. So it is also a side effect sometimes, because okay, the variables of a and b are not changing. Sometimes it may affect. Okay, so this statement is what it is doing. It is not producing some value. It is not assigning some value. Okay, this is about this expression statement. Now the declaration statement. Declaration statements means nothing but just, yes, Sulman, you can just ping me in the chat. What's your query? So you just ping me in the chat. By the time I'll start this declaration statement. Okay. In declaration statement, we declare the variables and constants. In declaration statement. Okay, fine. In declaration statement, we declare the variables and constants by specifying their data type and name. Means the name itself represent, we are just declaring the statement. Means we are just declaring something or some variable. Okay, so that variable will hold some value that is going to use in the Java program. Means see here an example, int quantity. Boolean flag means what? This int quantity means this is the variable declaration. We are not assigning any value here. Just we are declaring that. Means what that compiler will get to know here means quantity is a variable and it will store only the numerical value because this is of type int. And flag is a Boolean type. Means it will take only the Boolean value. That is either true or false. And string message. Message is a string variable which will accept only the string type of value. That is like welcome to Logic Labs, like this. A single statement or single word like Logic Labs, like that. Okay, so this is about declaring a variable, and we can also initialize a value to the variable. Okay, we can also initialize a value to the variable like int. Here we have taken just a declaration. Now we are initializing the value to the variable. Int quantity is equal to 20. Means I told you, right, it will accept only the numerical value. Now I are assigning the value to this. Okay, now Boolean flag is equal to false and string message is equal to hello. So it is going to accept the values which is of that type. Okay. And Java allows us to declare the multiple variables in a single declaration statement. Means we can declare a multiple variables in a single declaration statement. And note one point here, all the variables should be of same type. See here, int, quantity, batch number, lot number. So these three are of type integer only. Means it will accept only the integer values. If I'm trying to flag, if I try to give here flag, means it doesn't know the name, like flag is a boolean value or like that. But what I'm saying means batch number, we have to give some value to this batch number as a only numerical, and the lot number also numerical only, because these three are of type integer. See here we have declared the three variables at a time with a single declaration statement. Okay, this is also possible in Java. The same way here for Boolean also. Boolean flag is equal to false, is contents is equal to true. And how we are going to differentiate this means with the help of the comma. Okay, now string message is equal to hello, how are you? Okay, we should not give here, just simply we have to give some str is equal to like this. Okay, string message is equal to hello, str is equal to how are you. Okay, this is the way how we are going to declare multiple variables in a single declaration statement. This is about the declaration statement. Now the control statement, this is not we can cover in one day. This is a very big topic. Anyhow, we'll take today, just I'll give brief introduction because the time is going to go ahead. It's a now tomorrow we'll discuss in depth about this. First, I'll give a brief introduction. Control statements will decide the flow of a Java program. See here, the control, the word itself represent, it is controlling the statements. It's controlling the program. Okay. So it is deciding, means it is having the decision making power. It is having the power to take the decision whether this line or this statement should execute or not. Okay. Control statement will decide the flow of a Java program. And how it is going to decide means in which way it is going to decide means from the top down approach. Okay, means top to bottom. Means for example, it will definitely follow from the top to bottom only. If it means if I write some condition at the fifth line in the Java program, then it will check if you write some condition there, like if it is true only, execute the sixth line. Else, don't execute the sixth line, go to the seventh line, like that. Okay, so from top to bottom only we can get, we cannot go like if sixth condition is true, go to the first line. We are not saying like that. Okay, the statements are parsed from top to bottom, and therefore using the control statement can interrupt a particular section of program based on certain condition. I told you, right, based on certain condition only, it is having the power to decide the flow of the program, and it is categorized into the three types. The control statements are categorized into the three types. That is conditional statement, looping statement or loop or iterative statement, and the flow control or jump statement. Pre-recording videos I have missed. I think they'll upload in the YouTube, I think, or else you can contact with the Logic Lab team. I'll share the number here. You can contact with them. Yeah, I think just please make a note of this number 9390246401. Am I able to? Okay, I'll just copy and paste to you. First session updated. Join that group. All the session recordings noted will be accessible through this. First 5 sessions will be before to order. I think you please contact with them, na? They'll help you out regarding this. Mostly, I'm thinking yeah. Thank you. So the types of statements will be conditional, loop, or flow control. These three types we are having. In conditional statements, we are having the if else, if switch. Looping statements, for loop, while loop, do while, for each. For each loop is not using in this core Java. They are using those in the advanced Java, or else we can say like the data structures we are going to use in that. And the flow control statements are return, continue, and break. Just I'm giving the brief introduction. Anyhow, we'll discuss on this in the tomorrow in depth. Okay, because it is tomorrow. Just don't miss the class tomorrow because I am going to execute every program for the every statement here. Because this plays a vital role in any code developer. Because see, because though we go with the theoretically, definitely we need to have the hands-on practice. So if you have more hands-on practice, we will be getting more touch with the coding skills. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to execute every program for this every statement. So tomorrow don't miss the class. So let us stop this session for today. And just a minute.